It's not a secret that big publishers and platforms like Steam or itch.io have a certain taboos when it comes to horror games. A major publisher will never invest in, let alone release, a deliberately controversial project that obviously won't meet financial expectations. Publishers keep developers on a tight leash, and honestly, that's no always a bad thing, because then you have indie studios or even solo devs who aren't burdened by those limitations. They do what they want, how they want, often flipping the bird to all kinds of moral boundaries. A lot of people know that itch.io is basically overflowing with a mountain of fringe, trash tier games, but somehow today's star of the show managed to sneak through Steam's moderation, or to be more precise, star of the show. Today we'll dive into these short horror games made by an indie studio. Unfortunately, also we have to do with kids. And the worst part, one of them is based on real events, just a prank. The first thing I see is the carpet. You know, that classic Soviet style carpet. You'd find it literally every other apartment across the USSR or post-Soviet countries. But what you definitely wouldn't find there is a Chinatown movie poster, basking in the sunlight. Feeling nostalgic, I decided to check it out. Good morning. My shows food under the door. Apparently, eating off the floor is totally normal in this family. I scarf down my cereal and answer the phone. It's some kid named Johan. He tells me to get dressed and come outside. I obediently throw on my clothes, grab my backpack, and leave the house. Johan's already waiting outside. Together, we head to school. On the way, Johan starts flexing about his new boombox. If I were him, I'd hold off bragging. You see why. In class, Johan gives me my first quest: plant a whoopee cushion on a chair so everyone can hear a cosmic
Justus perdonul!
Next visit, the king of pranks give me another task. Prank a classmate named Agatha. Before that, I decided to snoop around the classroom. Proofs to the depths for encouraging kids to play sports and read the classics. I walk up to Agatha and offer her a soda. She doesn't refuse and starts venting about the situation apparently caused by Johan. She says, Philip. I say, alright. Agatha, excited, asks for the soda, which had clearly been pre-shaken. She opens it and gets drenched. She asks for help. After a bit of hesitation, Johan tells me not to say anything. Philip asks why, and Johan explains there is beef between him and Agatha dead. Better stay quiet, Johan says. The girl's fine. Usually parents don't punish their kids that hard. We stop, and Johan suddenly asks, Huh? Yeah, I know it's total cringe, but trust me, dear viewer, behind all these awkward jokes, the devs are hiding real darkness and creepiness. You just need to be a little patient. Evening comes, mom slides in food again. I'd wear it all at once and go answer the phone. There is apparently a signal. Sorry. Anyway, creepy vibes start kicking in. Suddenly, Agatha's dad shows up at Johan's house at night, smashes his window, tried to punish Johan for the prank. Likely, Johan's mom stepped in the same lunatic pocket. Back at school, prank wars continue. We spot Juicy left by a classmate named Roslav, Blue Juice. We still hasn't swapped it with, suspiciously, yellow tomato juice. Class starts. Roslav takes a sip. Yeah, tomato juice is an accurate taste, but to gag like that, pretty suspicious. Teacher catches us. Classic. She bets we can't hit her 3 times with paper balls. We accept the challenge. After a bit of chaos, the teacher, Mrs. Vishnevskaya, storms off, quits her job for good. Johan hyped on a recess. He tells me to distract Agatha for another prank. I casually ask Agatha if she watched cartoons last night. She says the TV is only for her dad. Class starts. Everyone takes their seats. These pranks even made the main character uncomfortable. The vice principal walks in, asks Philippe to walk Agatha home. On the way, we run into Johan. He apologizes for the harsh prank and invites us to play hide and seek. First, we easily find Agatha. Then, Johan. Next round, Agatha hides. We need a good hiding spot, but when we find her lying on the ground, Philippe thinks she's not breathing, so he runs to school for help. We find the vice principal and tell her Agatha hit her, hit and rock. We return to the scene. Agatha and Johan are gone. Just a pool of blood left behind. Philip tries to call his friend. No answer. Mom shows up with dinner for two. Tells him to eat with Johan. In the closet, Agatha's in hell here. But Johan never came. Next morning, Philip's late for class. Sits down, exhausted. The vice principal takes roll call. Agatha's absent. Johan too. At home, Phillips find a note. Mom's on night shift. Then someone knocks. It's Johan. Philip says this pranks freak him out. Doesn't wanna be friends with Johan anymore. Too cruel. Johan asks where Agatha is. Philip opens the door. Johan says Agatha is coming soon. Offers strawberry muffins as a peace offering. And that's where this bland, tasteless horror finally ends. Just a warm-up from the devs to properly judge their next games. I had to show you this. I ate old man's liver. Now this bitch is mine. Yeah, it starts with the dog's letter right. Grandpa showed his true colors right away. A biter, old bastard, trash talking the kid Jacob without holding back. The kid doesn't hold back. Terrified of him, Grandpa starts rambling about woman. Classy, he asks why Jacob took this job, trying to run away from his bitch. Jacob says he hasn't found a girlfriend yet, and now folks enjoy this top-tier voice acting. Turns out, all this time the noise was coming from a TV in the sled. Suddenly, the antenna picks up. Swan Lake Ballet. Grandpa thrilled. Tells Jacob to sit straight while he, purrs on the ballerines. Yeah, this shit is being sold on Steam. Jacob bumps something, loses signal, and then comes a real psychological nightmare. Look at these subtitles. You're useless. You are a broken piece of shit. Jacob has enough. Shows Grandpa out of the sled. Next scene. Jacob sits by a dog, or some weird dog-shaped thing. The dog tells him to eat someone's liver. Yep, gameplay madness continues. And yes, now the dogs talk. Wolf, the dog, tells Jacob his new alpha. Another dumb dog starts barking nonsense. Wolf says to ignore him, asks if Jacob knows what it means to be an alpha male. After ballerinas appear, the game turns into some kind of endless runner. You have to dodge trees to keep your dogs alive. Think we've hit rock bottom. Buckle up. Wolf warns. Don't look back. Suddenly, a cockroach with Grandpa face appears. Why haven't you crushed yet, prank? Yeah, pure nightmare fool. After an eternity, Jacob reaches the ballerina. Wolf prizes him for finding his princess alive. Honestly, I don't know how to comment on this. Not sure what message the devs were going for. Get bullied hard. Smash F and deal with your problems violently. Curiosity got the better of me. Had to dive deeper into the devs' messed up hits. Next game, The Hole. The game opens with a disclaimer, total emptiness, based on stories about my grandpa. Well, that. First thing I see, the game carpet from the first game. But hey, this time the devs actually decorated the room better. Our first mission, crush a sweetie can. No time to waste. I head to the kitchen to complete this vital task. I open the freezer and grab some food. Then I crush the can like a real champ. No question asked. Right after that, I notice my good old Soviet style carpet again. Feels like deja vu from the first game. Next up, I head to the hallway where, out of nowhere, I start hearing strange whispers. At first, I saw it, Was my imagination messing with me? But no, the voice gets louder. Someone's calling my name. The atmosphere in the house turns cold as ice. Literally, you can see your breath. I decided to explore the house. The devs definitely worked on the interiors this time. The place looks way more polished compared to the first game. I pick one of this room and suddenly there is a massive hole in the floor. I walk closer and as you'd expect, I fall right into the down sink. Darkness. Total empty surrounds me. The character wakes up in some underground tunnel. It's cold, damp, and the only light source is a faint glow coming from the far and out the tunnel. I have no clue what the hell is it, but there is no turning back now. As I stumble through the tunnel, I start finding these weird notes, apparently written by the protagonist's grandfather. The vibe, totally unhinged. The old man talks about true freedom and clean inside the soul. Typical cut like a geography. Feels like the devs are trying to dive into some pseudo-psychological deep end, but it mostly comes off as awkward. Further down the tunnel, I found a small room with a mirror. You know it's about to get weird when there is a mirror in a horror game. And guess what, the reflection isn't showing me, but some messed up version of the main character with a distorted face and bleeding eyes. I look around the room, inside a piece of raw meat. No explanation. I take it, because why the hell not? Right after, I hear footsteps behind me. Classic jump scare setup. But I gotta admit, it caught me off guard. I ran through the tunnels until I finally emerge back into what looks like my house. But now, it's still all twisted, like a nightmare version of reality. The furniture's floating, walls are melting. Proper acid trip visuals. The last scene is basically the protagonist standing in front of the same massive hole from before. The whispers return, louder than ever, practically screaming now. Finally, message on the screen reads: "The hole never leaves you, it follows you." Screen fades to black roll credits. Honestly, the game ends, and I'm sitting there trying to process what I just experienced. Was it deep psychological horror, or some student project that spiraled out of control? Hard to say. But here's the deal, my dear viewer. After playing through this whole trilogy, I can safely tell you, the devs clearly have some heavy twisted ideas. Whether that's good or just cringe is up for the debate. But at least they aren't afraid to push boundaries. And hey, if you want more breakdowns of these weird underground horror games, let me know in the comments.